Hi, I'm Diarmuid McSweeney.
I'm Niall Horgan. Together with Diarmuid and Karl, we co-founded Gym+Coffee.
In 2017, three friends, Niall Horgan, Diarmuid McSweeney and Karl Swaine, created Gym+Coffee, an athleisure brand powered by community. In this episode, EY Entrepreneur of the Year finalists Niall and Diarmuid describe how they built Gym+Coffee into Ireland's largest, fastest growing and most recognisable active and athleisure wear brand.
So three of us co-founded the business together, myself, Diarmuid and Karl. Diarmuid and I knew each other from college. We did a commerce degree in Cork years ago. And Karl got to know in Dublin, actually met him first at the gym. So the idea for Gym+Coffee came to us when we were having a conversation here in Dublin in late 2016. And at the time I had been spending a lot of time in California. I was working for a couple of tech companies over the years previously with Twitter and with Slack. And was spending a lot of time in San Francisco, and I just loved the lifestyle over there. You know, it was a place where people are very passionate about their health, their fitness, their exercise. People were using their, exercise schedules for their social schedules, basically. And chatting with Diarmuid and Karl, our co-founders, who had just moved back from Australia, and they were living a very similar life over in Melbourne.
7 o'clock on a Saturday morning, you'd see people running on the beach, doing triathlons, cycling with their mates and meeting for a coffee afterwards. So their ability to strike the right balance with their lifestyle, I think, was a huge inspiration for me, and something that really struck me at the time and stayed with me for many years after that as well. You know, the meeting of all of those ideas is what happens, I guess, when you've lived abroad, or you've had, maybe, without overstating it, like kind of life-changing experiences, but you bring ideas back home and you start to share ideas and share conversations. And I guess we just spoke first about what we loved about living in those different cities, or overseas, or just what we loved about those lifestyles. It wasn't necessarily what do we love about those things and how can we make a business out of it. It was just kind of the sharing of experiences. So I guess the real first observation was just that whole thing about whether it's California or Canada or Australia, that really people socialise around exercise, and that's how they fit all of that into the lifestyle, a busy lifestyle of anyone who's working.
And then the second part of that conversation was that as this lifestyle was being embraced, the clothing that people were wearing was very much changing as well. It was, a huge demand now for that high quality, comfortable, versatile item of clothing that you could wear all day, but you could equally wear exercising, but also still look good afterwards when you're chilling out in a cafe. And as customers, we were experiencing that ourselves. We were always living in hoodies ourselves.
There was a passion there that we wanted, and we identified an opportunity as well, I guess, once we had done our research into the industry. But yeah, it's a very competitive sector. If we only knew then what we know now, but no, but it was a big opportunity, I think, and we could see that from early on. And then we personally were passionate about just getting this moving.
So we gave ourselves a very weird name, Gym+Coffee, which comes up to this day because we are not a gym and we do not sell coffee. But for us, it was really about tying into that lifestyle. You're sitting, you're having a coffee, you've done your exercise, and that was the audience that we were going after.
I'm very lucky to work with two co-founders, and a lot of people would say that's a recipe for a disaster. But we work really well together. Our skill sets complement each other quite well. In the early days, when it was just the three of us, we gelled quite well together and brainstormed different things and different challenges, and everybody brought the same energy and enthusiasm to what they were responsible for. And then as the team and the business has grown up, we've each kind of taken off our different parts of the business that we're responsible for. So it's a little more formalized and structured now, but we still try to maintain the same atmosphere and same culture around the place that got us through those first couple of years. So yeah, I think the the kind of delineation between the different areas is quite important, but you can't really lose the magic of those early years, because that is the kind of essence of where we started, and that ethos needs to stay the same throughout the entire company, I think, for years to come.
So the brand was hugely important to us right from the beginning, and we spent loads of time focusing on what we wanted Gym+Coffee to be, to stand for, and the audience we wanted to connect with. For us, it was brand that really brought the business to life. Right from the beginning, we knew that it's a crowded space, right? There's a lot happening in the athleisure sector, but for us, we wanted to be incredibly credible and authentic about the brand that we were building.
What we did focus on was what we were passionate about, and we focused on an authentic story, I think. You know, it's easy, I have to say, when you just speak the truth and speak what you're passionate about, and people could see that, whether it was down to a kind of a weird name that some people didn't get, or down to our mission, which is to make life richer and make life richer for people in our community. People really connected with that, I think, and we just repeated that over and over again, which I think people really love. There's a simplicity to the message, but also there's a depth to the message that I think people really connect with. The way we break down Make Life Richer is awesome things to do, an amazing community to do things with, and high quality gear to do those things in. So when you look at those three components together, we think if you have all those three, you will make life richer, which is what we're passionate about.
We really looked at, okay, if this was what the brand is and this is what we want the brand to stand for, how do we bring that to life? So we're an online business. Yes, we're selling clothing and that's powering the business, but how do we bring that brand to life? So we looked at a couple of things. Firstly, the content that we put out there. We wanted to make sure that it was incredibly powerful, incredibly interesting, and it was really tailored to people who are living that lifestyle. So if you went to our blog, what you'd find on it is, you know, training tips, recipe tips, things to do at the weekend, what you could do if you have a couple hours free, the best places and festivals you can go to for fitness and exercise. So we wanted to engage with people and help it easier for them to connect with the brand, because we matched what their own kind of interests.
Very simply, our brand is community, and community is our brand. It's what we talk about all day, every day. We talk about how to celebrate people within our community, how we engage them more, how we activate them around things like sustainability or events or fitness or, you know, charity groups that may need their help. But really, I suppose community is more important than it ever has been. Yes, we're more connected, but I think loneliness is the #1 concern for the WHO this year, you know, so it just shows that people are really searching and yearning for community. So when we say we are a brand and a team that are really just trying to encourage people to make life richer and to grow our community, I think people really love that message. Our community has been the driving force really behind the brand. You know, early days, we wouldn't have been anywhere without the support of our community. And then over the last couple of years, you know, particularly during COVID, people needed that from us, and we've tried to keep that going digitally. And now obviously that we're hopefully in a kind of a post-COVID world, all of our events and activations and partnerships and all those things are coming back in real life, and you can see people are flooding back to those experiences.
The first summer that the brand was in existence, we rolled out this events campaign for the entire summer, where we'd go to a different place around Ireland. We'd put on a free exercise class in a park. We'd encourage people to come down and hang out for a coffee afterwards. So that really helped, I suppose, cement the brand in people's eyes that yes, we're a business, but we're also trying to create these opportunities for people to come down, to meet, to exercise and to socialise. And that's been at the core of Gym+Coffee ever since. You know, in the last 5 years, even through COVID, we've done, you know, over 250, 300 free events that just encourages this type of lifestyle.
The really interesting thing about the dynamics, I think, within the industry is that we all understand why certain stores are closing and certain brands are just moving online. But we started online and then we moved into physical locations. But that was driven by our community. You know, that's what they were looking for. We tested a number of locations. They worked really well. So we're just constantly responding to whatever the community are asking from us. And the exciting thing, I think, from a business point of view is that expands the business. But the exciting thing from a marketing and a community point of view is that it gives us locations to meet our community, for them to meet one another, to host events. And then, you know, we've got an amazing team of people in the company now.
Yeah, something that I'm probably most proud of, and what actually excites me and gives me so much more confidence for the years ahead, is I think how strong the Gym+Coffee team is now. We're over 200 people at this stage. We've 50 here in our main office in Dublin, and we've 150 across our retail stores across Ireland and the UK. And that's grown incredibly fast. This time last year, or at the start of last year, there was maybe 20 people in the office and maybe 80 across the stores. So to see the rate at which we're growing, but everybody we bring into the business is just really adding to already a great pool of people. And I think what struck me the most about it is obviously how hardworking everyone is, and also how sound everyone is, but how ambitious everybody is. And I think that really, fires us all up, is that people come in and, really want to get stuck into projects, into tasks, into stuff that will bring Gym+Coffee to the next level, because I feel they really believe in what we're trying to achieve. And I think when you, especially now we're back in the office, start to physically come in, talk to people, and you see their drive and their passion to bring things to the next level is just inspiring. And that's going to make the difference, and that's why I know there's going to be a successful few years ahead.
I think sustainability is a really interesting topic to talk about for climate change reasons, for business reasons. I think that's where the future of this industry is going, but most importantly, it's where the customer is going over the next couple of years. It's what they're going to be looking for. I don't think you can go out and say, make life richer, or say that you're a community-powered brand if you're not acting sustainably or looking to make improvements around sustainability. I actually think that the majority of consumers or customers, they're probably not there yet really in relation to sustainability, but brands like Gym+Coffee need to bring people to that point and need to provide some education around that.
For us, right from the beginning, we've tried to do as much as possible in this space. Firstly, the products that we create are really high quality. They're built to last. They're not fast fashion. If you look at the bags that we use in our retail stores, they're made from recycled fridges. So an incredible technology used there. We undertook a massive project to calculate the entire carbon footprint that Gym+Coffee is doing as a business. To begin with, we're taking that 3,000 tons of carbon that we were responsible for, and we're taking that out. So we're offsetting that now by investing tens of thousands of euros in huge, amazing projects across the world that really help reduce that. So that's our starting point. So we're proud to say we're now carbon neutral as a business. But we know that's not enough. We need to push for better in that place. So we have an action plan that will be launched in the next couple of weeks that will show how we'll move from just being carbon neutral right now to net zero over the next couple of years. I suppose we're certainly proud to be ahead of the pack there at the moment, but we just got to make sure that we stay at there as well, because it's our responsibility as business owners, but also, again, it's the expectations of our customers and our community, which is the most important thing for us.
I think a major achievement for us was hitting 5 years old, 5 years in business in January of this year, celebrating that with thousands of people from our community on top of the Sugarloaf in Wicklow. If you had told us a few years ago that we would make it there, we would have been delighted. We're first-time founders, so not going to lie, it has been incredibly challenging the first 2 or 3 years of starting a business. Throw in Brexit and then a once-in-a-century pandemic, and you feel like you're trying to steer a roller coaster.
Thinking back to March 2020 and the world's shutting down, and you've got that panic. We had 6 or 7 retail stores at the time. They had to close. You've no idea what's going to happen. We found ourselves in this position where demand was high for our product, which was great and comforting. But then you had the stress of trying to match that supply because the world was shutting down, supply chains were shutting down. We found ourselves in a position where we had 20,000 items in Asia manufactured, and we were unable to get them to Ireland to our customers. So we turned the entire supply chain of the business around within a kind of 10-day period, thanks to the help of people like Liam Casey and PCH.
Coming out of COVID now, I think even the next couple of years will be challenging again, because I suppose the business and the industry at a wider level will kind of find a levelling off, and we don't know where that is going to be yet. So the goalposts always change, the targets always change. I think if you work in a startup, or if you're the founder of a startup, you just have to be very comfortable with the fact that things are going to change every 3 or 4 weeks. I think people that don't like that shouldn't work in a startup. And if you really don't like, you definitely shouldn't set up a company. But that is the reality of it. And it can be a bit disconcerting for some people, and for you as a founder as well, to be talking to your team in very specific, concrete terms, and then 4 weeks later contradict everything that you've just said. But as long as people understand that that's the nature of the game, and that these things will change, and you have to react. I don't think you can be blindly, just following a plan that you made 6 months previously just because it's written on a piece of paper. So, it's just about being reactive, but there is serious challenges in there, and it's just about overcoming the next obstacle that pops up, and hoping you make the right decision.
Yeah, I think it's quite interesting that we maybe have taken a slightly different approach, starting as an online business, and then moving to having physical retail stores over the last couple of years. And what we've discovered is the more we roll out our physical retail stores, it also complements the online part of the business. And I think that probably just matches customers' expectations out there now. People have that expectation that they want to buy something online, bring back in store, or go into a store, pick out their size, but buy it online later that day. And that, I think, is just this omni-channel world that we live in, and we want to be a brand that matches those customer expectations. As we look to the future, we definitely see a space for both the online and physical retail.
My experience of the whole program with EY has been amazing. I won't lie, at the start I was a little hesitant, but the same way I'm hesitant before anything that's outside of the company that is going to require a significant amount of time. And right from the start, it was very clear that it was going to be of great value to us, I think. The retreat in Killarney was an amazing experience, but that's just a kind of a manifestation of the whole thing, really, which is just connecting with an amazing group of people who will genuinely bend over backwards for one another and for others outside of the group. But you just learn so much. An amazing group of people. There's also a WhatsApp group, which is one of the most random and active WhatsApp groups I'm on. I think we knew going into it what this program was going to be like in one ways, but there's been so much more value from it than I could have ever thought, and to see such kind of genuine connections and relationships coming from it, let's just say it kind of answered all the hesitations that I might have had before going into the program. Yeah, I think ambassadors is a really interesting strategy for a brand to communicate its values and its messaging and what it wants to say to its community at a kind of a wider level. What's interesting for us is that we didn't actually use ambassadors for about 3 or 4 years. We've never used really the term ambassador. I think that's probably an overused term in the marketing world, which I think even now consumers are pretty bored of, or can see through a lot of these kind of partnerships. For us, it goes back again to just letting the brand and Make Life Richer guide us in those decisions. Is this person going to fit into our community, and are they going to communicate a message around our values that is believable?
We've so many amazing ambassadors, but when you look at some of the amazing females that we have as connected to Gym+Coffee. We want to support them and tell their story, and equally then they're just a perfect fit for Gym+Coffee, and hopefully can elevate the brand through that as well. And then we've got a couple of very high profile ambassadors over the years. We were lucky that Brian O'Driscoll not only came on and invested in the business and supported the business, but he came on as our head of community. And we were able to obviously leverage his profile, but also the support that gave to us as a business. And instead of, again, doing sort of cheesy product promos with Brian, what we did was bring him in to do content series and help tell the story of other people in our community. So he came in and did video shoots with the Irish Wheelchair Rugby Association and helped bring their story to life. So as we grow the brand from Ireland and into the UK and beyond, it's like, who are these other amazing ambassadors out there that could help join Gym+Coffee, help kind of spread that Make Life Richer message, and help us get to the next stage. We're incredibly excited about the next few years for Gym+Coffee and beyond, and what we can achieve as a brand and as a business. We look at the last couple of years of really strong foundation being set. We've put blood, sweat and tears into it, but we feel we've got a fantastic product. We have a super team here, and we've got a community that really rallies around what the brand stands for, and their support is everything. And that's a really good starting place now. So as we look to growing this brand internationally in particular, it's making sure we maintain the best parts of that.
And what excites me as well is just thinking about the team growing and the culture growing, and how we can just tackle more areas. There's so many opportunities over the last couple of years that we just couldn't grasp because we didn't have the resources. We couldn't be distracted by those projects at the time when other things needed to be worked on. So the next couple of years we'll be able to expand the brand even more and expand the areas that we've really wanted to work on. So yeah, it's exciting to think about the people that have joined the company in the last 6 months, and those people that don't know they will join in the next 6 months yet. But we're really looking to expand the team and think about how we move internationally into different markets.